Well, Namibia, there you have it. We're coming to you live from the town of Swakopmund in the Erongo region, where the State of the Region address is taking place. This morning, the governor, the newly appointed governor, Nathalia, Goagoses, will be delivering the status of where the region finds itself in terms of development. Now, I'm joined by the chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council to give us a prelude, an understanding, an insight in preparation of the SORA. So, in doing so, we'll be looking at obviously the various aspects as of from 10 o'clock, the speech, and then we'll come back with a post-mortem of that happenings. Now, we are live streaming on all of our NBC platforms, so thank you for joining us this morning. Like I said, we are here at the Swakop municipality for the State of the Region address. Good morning, Mr. Florian Donatus, the chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council. Thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Let's start in terms of maybe, as the chairperson, what are your expectations this morning from the State of the Region address?
It's a very tricky one because we have a new governor, newly appointed. What she will be talking about might not be the usual one that we normally used to hear. But what you need to understand is that the State of the Region address is touching based on all activities that the region itself is doing. So it's not going to be far from what we really know, because it's what the regional council, the local authority, the other stakeholders within the region business are doing. So I'm expecting her to be talking more about development, more especially the roads, infrastructure, as we just get our road map plan and the approved roads within the region. We are going to be hearing about the job opportunities and the rest. So it's only in that line. What are the industry doing? The extent of the fishing industry, how are they contributing to the GDP? How are the mining contributing to the GDP and the employment creation and the market value of the commodity that we have, and how those market and the numbers are now running towards the development of the whole region. So that is what you can expect from the new governor. And also, you must also be expecting her to touch a little bit on who is graduating from a settlement to a local authority. I don't think she will left it out.
Okay. What's interesting is, I think historically, a lot of Namibians have just focused on the significance of central government. As the chairperson of a subnational council, what's the importance of regional governance, particularly in terms of bringing services closer to the people, and we're trying to kind of cultivate a culture where we account for at a central government level, at a subnational level, at a local authority level, to ensure that the entire spheres of government are held accountable. Speak to us about the importance of regional governance.
Regional governance is a belt between the people and the central government. The local authority and all other activities that's taking place in the region is spearheaded by the regional council. And so the regional council is there making sure and monitoring that all developmental aspects that are planned for and activities that have to be done that are in line with the National Development Plan are executed from the local level to the regional level. And once the regional and the local are doing what the national have planned, then all the spheres of government have been catered for, and no one will be left out to say development did not touch me, because all these pillars have to talk to one another. And if they are not talking to one another, you have to look at yourself as a regional chairperson or as a region itself and look at where is the bone of contention, what is going wrong, because what the right hand is doing, the left is supposed to account. What the local authority is doing, the regional council must supposed to be able to know what is going on at each and every local authority, 7 of them, and each and every settlement. And then if the regional council knows, then the governor's office also knows. And that's the reason why the state of the national address by the honorable governor touches everything that the local authority, the regional council, and all other stakeholders are doing in the region, so that we get to see, are we driving the right direction, or is there something that we need to do?
Okay. That's very interesting, because I think decentralization is important in bringing services, like you're alluding to, closer to the people. So talk to us about some of the development challenges that are particular to this region. I mean, since the 2011 census, we know that there's been about a 59% population growth. So currently, there's about 240,000 people, less than 250,000, that reside within this region. Talk to us about what challenges do you face as a result of things like rural-urban migration that a lot of people have been alluding to about this region.
Yes, the population have grown to an extent that the town boundaries have, in most cases, we have reached boundaries. Swakopmund is struggling with land. Walvis Bay is struggling with its boundaries. And you must understand that because of economic activity that is taking place within the region, majority of people are flocking from wherever to these big cities or big towns. And then that makes us to have challenges such as we don't have accommodation for the people. People are looking for housing, and people are looking also employment. Unemployment has become a challenge because people are coming with the hope that they will be employed, and the industry that are opening up, such as mining, fisheries, and tourism, they require certain people with specific skills and specific qualifications. And then, but this is not what the general public knows today. They come here with a hope that each and everyone, regardless of your qualification or educational background, you will get a job somewhere. And then these have brought us into something like urban migration, and the number of housing units are declining, and the unemployment, and it also have brought us poverty and hunger. So we are also faced heavily with urban hunger, which is very hard to fight, because when we talk about central government mediation on drought relief is only available to people that are not living in the urban setup, and all those that find themselves in the urban setup suffer because now they are categorized as if they know or they have something to survive on, and this is a burden to all my regional councillors there and local authority councillors there. They are struggling to find where are they going to feed these people from. So that's
very insightful in terms of duality. There is the opportunities there, but there's also a burden given the influx into the region. Maybe we're coming to you live from the municipality of Swakopmund for the SORA. As you can hear outside, there is a jubilant vibe happening here. Young people are welcoming the governor as she enters the building. We are almost ready to cross over for the live broadcast of the speech by the governor. Nathalia says she will be speaking about various aspects that are obviously under the regime of the National Development Plan, but issues that are particularly to the region is what she is going to be accounting for. There's a choir that's obviously singing jubilant sounds there and welcoming the governor back into the region. Mr. Chairperson, before we close off, what are the priorities for the region?
The priorities for the region is roads infrastructures, housing, job creations, and skill development to young ones. and also to make sure that we are living in a digitalized world in such a way that each and every, we need to move from normal cities to digitalized cities so that information flows and the standard of living get to improve. So that's what we are looking at, and many more.
Message to the residents of the Erongo region, but also to the wider nation.
Yes, we are coming to you as a Erongo region. We are positioning ourselves as a region that is very diverse, and we can also say we are the economic hub of this nation, and we are contributing a lot to the national development plan of this country, and then and we are ready to make an impact, to attract investors, so that mining get to boom and a lot of people get to get employed, and fishing get to that level whereby a lot of people get to be employed, and we are talking of decent employment, not this cheap labor. So we cannot be classified as a region of excellence, but we have people that are suffering. All we are trying to make sure is to alleviate poverty, making sure that all Namibian people living in Erongo, they are catered for and no one is going hungry to bed.
Message to the governor as she re-enters to the region to kind of pull everything together as a representative of the president in the region. What are some of the insights you can, region-specific insights that you can give her?
The region is very awaiting of her. We are very much excited to having her as a former CRO. She understands each and every aspect that needs to be pulled together so that we thrive as a region. The region is very happy to have her and back to her own region, and we are looking forward for her to move us from point A to B and to the rest of the world and market this region and make it as a region of excellence as we used to call ourselves.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for that. Namibia, you've just heard the Chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council give us insights prior to the State of the Region address that's going to be broadcast. So it's going to be given to you now by the NBC platforms. That is the Governor of the Erongo Region, Nathalia, that will be telling us what is the state of the Erongo region. We bring you that live, and we'll be back for a post-mortem after her speech. Please keep watching here on NBC.
the meeting. While we are there, anyone to open our meeting with a prayer? DG Education, please help us.
Good morning. Let's pray to the Gorere. Koas kares kan sida di ko. Lete kam koasa du go sida ne ba an hang hokais aroma kan dagira. Ledi in hangs sida karipti mung am aus. Komainsa honorable governors. Goagoses di kovan insada hara kanse. Sida ge eloba koa chira kare. Lete hoai khoni. Sida di uin karusan wati sida di uin karusan wanin karu kaisa sida ge elo ba kaisera kan Jesus Christus din uns nga amen.
Thank you very much. Adoption of agenda, honorables. All right. Secondment. Thank you very much. Application for leave of absence by members. Honorable Kativa is on her way. All right. Confirmation of minutes of previous meeting, none. Interview with deputations, none. Honorable Governor, Honorable Regional Councillors, Your Worship, the Mayor of Local Authority Councillors, Chief Regional Officer, Distinguished Chief Executive Officer, Police Regional Commander, Distinguished Representative of OMAS, Traditional Authorities, Religious Leaders, Service Chief, Captains of Industries, Members of Media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this august house. Today's Ordinary Regional Council meeting is in compliance with Article 110A5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, and I quote, Article 5, a regional governor shall attend a meeting of the Regional Council of the region for which he or she is the regional governor once a year, which meeting shall, after the President and Cabinet attend Parliament in terms of Article 32, 2 thereof, and sub-Article 6. During the meeting referred in sub-Article 5, the regional governor shall address the Regional Council on the state of the region, planned activity of the central government in the region, report on the activity of the central government of the previous years in the region, and the available and must also be available to respond to questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in this light of the above constitutional provision that the Erongo Regional Council invite the Honorable Governor to address not only the residents of Erongo, but the nation too this morning. There are two announcements that I would want to make now. I would like to invite the Honorable Governor to speak before I call upon the Governor to speak. Number one, the Ministry of International Relations and Trade will convene the first ministerial business engagement. All businesswomen and men and key stakeholders are invited to attend. The meeting will take place at 14 hours at the Swakopmund Hotel and Entertainment Center. The Minister, Honorable Soma Ashipala Musavi, will lead the discussion. Second announcement, the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology will hold a stakeholder meeting in the Swakopmund Municipality Training Center located in this building. The meeting starts at 14 hours. The Minister, Honorable Emma Theophilus, will address this meeting. Before that, I would also want to acknowledge the presence of the former governor, Honorable Neville Andre. He is amongst us. Thank you for coming. So, permit me now, Honorable Regional Councillors, to invite the Regional Governor of the Erongo region, Honorable Nathalia Goagoses, to deliver her maiden statement of the regional address. I thank you.
Honorable Florian Donatus, we may be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to your council to address the residents of Erongo region and the entire nation at large. Honorable Florian Donatus, Chairperson of Erongo Regional Council, Honorable Neville Andre, former Governor of Erongo region, Your Worship, Councillor Blasius Korasip, Mayor of Swakopmund, Your Worship, Mayors and Councillors of other towns in the Erongo region, and the councillors, all honorable councillors present here of Erongo region, esteemed traditional leaders of the 5 communities recognized in Erongo region present here, CEOs of local authority, regional heads of OMAS in the region, service chiefs, NAMPOL Commissioner Ruben Bona, who has tendered an apology and is represented by the Deputy Commissioner, senior civil servants, captains of industry, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all guests present here this morning. It is a distinct honor that I present myself to you as your governor of this beautiful region, as your servant to deliver only quality service to the beautiful people of Erongo region. I am sure that you are all aware that my career cannot be narrated without mentioning the name of Erongo region. That is where I started my career as an assistant teacher. Many years ago, by then at Dibasen Junior Secondary School, and renamed as Kaup, Dr. Justus Uruwe Karoep. I studied there as an assistant teacher in the early 80s. I have walked a long journey as a career civil servant, from teaching to director to regional officer to minister's representative and all the other titles that were bestowed upon me. Yes, I have exit my political career as a deputy minister for higher education, training and innovation. I normally tell my followers what matters most in your career life is how you exit the particular portfolio given. And I think I have exited well with the support of those who were following me. I am genuinely honored by this responsibility bestowed upon me by Her Excellency, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. I therefore pledge my utmost commitment to collaborate with all, and I mean all stakeholders, to promote unity of purpose, and I mean unity of purpose, inclusive development, and I mean inclusive development, sustainable growth, and prosperity for all our people, all, and I mean all our people in the region. I recognize the role of importance of Erongo Regional Council in driving the development agenda of the government in the region, and most importantly, as a key entity in the development and delivery of this event. I've keenly observed, honorable councillors, with sincerity, how the Regional Council has continued to engage with the communities, having key representatives embedded at the grassroots of our society. This is what defines our outreach as a government. It is imperative to highlight that the work of the government is also complemented by that of other players, such as state-owned enterprises, the private sector, civil society organizations, most importantly, traditional authorities, because all of us belongs to traditional communities. So the role of traditional authorities cannot be overemphasized. The religious organizations, these are key players who form part of our pathways to a prosperous Namibia. I salute you for your involvement in the fulfillment of your complementary noble task. Allow me at this juncture to acknowledge and thank Honorable Neville Andre. You have leveled a very strong playing field. Thank you, Honorable Neville, for your service to our region, as well as the generosity and cooperation you have shown throughout the transition of the regional leadership. Thank you so much once more, Honorable Neville Andre. The Erongo region, which you have led, which I am taking over from you, is a cosmopolitan region with a population of about 240,000 residents. This region is diverse in nature, with its 7 constituencies, 7 local authorities, and 4 settlements. The region values the role of customary leadership, and it's safer for me to report that there are 5 recognized, as I said earlier on, traditional authorities, of which all are presented and are present in this meeting. I rise before you, distinguished council of the democratic elected representatives of the people of Erongo region, to discharge my duty as rightly outlined by the chairperson of Erongo region. The state of the region's address necessitates that the government give an account to the people of this region regarding the work done in fulfilling its mandate to provide the much needed services aimed at reducing unemployment, inequality, and poverty. I am therefore presenting to you a report on how we have progressed in realizing our mandates, especially the duty of transforming our region into a formidable economic hub of this country. I am doing so in following the footsteps of Her Excellency, the President, and I am emulating the same theme, and I quote, unity in diversity, natural resources beneficiation, and youth empowerment for sustainable development, end of quote, as outlined in his State of Nation address delivered to our citizens on 24th of April 2025. Allow me now to review and give you the past year's achievements. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members of Regional Council, fellow Namibians, residents of Erongo region. I will not delve into the multi-sectoral milestones that we were able to record during the past year. to which I am indebted to the Erongo Regional Council for remaining committed to delivering on their mandate of governing, planning, coordinating, and implemented socio-economic development initiatives that improve the quality of life of all citizens of the region in line with the mandates given to the Council in the Regional Councils Act as amended Act number 1992. ERC undertook key essential infrastructure projects aimed at improving the quality of life, enhancing socio-economic development, and ensuring sustainable service delivery for our residents. The ongoing and planned capital projects reflect our constitutional mandate to promote development and social welfare across the region. As you may all know, the Erongo region is affected by its aridness. It's an arid region that has become problematic to the region and its inhabitants, with the annual rainfall of less than 400 millimeters. However, in mitigating the impact of water scarcity, the Erongo Regional Council, with the support of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform, completed Odontati to Omachete water pipeline in Taures constituency, covering a distance of 23 kilometers to the tune of about 50 million Namibian dollars. The pipeline will ease access to sustainable water resources to villages, including Omachete, which is a growth point, thereby reducing dependency on costly water tanker services, which cost the government 16 million Namibian dollars. This service will be available to the population of nearly 6,000 in the Omachete area, as well as a main growth point. Conversely, a bulk water pipeline for Tatamuchi informal settlement in Uis, Taures constituency again, was improved to boost pressure on the pipeline in the settlement, thus benefiting nearly 2,000 residents of that area. This part of project spending 2 financial year, and it will cost the government or regional council about 8 million Namibian dollars. The upgrading of road infrastructure has been among the prime government priorities in addressing the incentives aimed at reducing rural-urban migration. With the support of the Road Fund Administration, a 1-kilometer low-volume seal-tarred street was completed in Okombahe settlement at the cost of 1.7 million Namibian dollars. The government has continued to invest financial resources in infrastructure development, with notable achievements observed, with the project designed for the sewerage network extension expected to benefit about 63 households in the Ochimbingwe chiefs in the Ochimbingwe settlement of the Karibeb constituency. The completion of the project is expected at the end of August 2025, valued at 2.2 million. So the chiefs and the settlement officers, please take note of that development to be completed. And when we promise, when we give deadlines, it shall be met. I am not going to tolerate September becomes November. So when we say September completion date, please ensure the contractors and the technical group inspectors that these projects are completed at the timelines given. The advent of the drought in the country was severe in the Erongo region, posing a food security threat in the region. In combating or countering the impact of drought, Regional Council distributed 80 drought-resistant Boerbokke goats to 8 communal farmers in the Karibeb constituency under the support of the Destitute Rural Farmers Program. I hope 80 goats will multiply. It's a revolving support, and from you, we are going to get another 80 and distribute to the other destitute farmers. So make sure that those goats given are not getting human yackles and sold at the auctions. It is not meant for that. It is to empower you so that we can get, after you have multiplied, other 80 from you and distribute to the rest of the destitute community members. This initiative has helped rural farmers boost economic recovery from the stagnation of a drought that has severely affected the livelihoods of this segment of the population in the constituency. In the drive to improve housing in the region, 7 houses were constructed in the Ui settlement under the Build Together program. Meanwhile, 43 ablution or rural ablution blocks were delivered to 31 communities in Tongres constituency and 12 communities in Walvis Bay rural. Meanwhile, in the municipality of Swakopmund, 119 houses under the National Housing Enterprise Program were completed and handed to the beneficiaries. Additionally, a total of 150 even were serviced and handed over to 150 families. When we talk about 150 houses and even, then we are talking about 500 households, because average household in our society is about 5. So it's a milestone in itself. Distinguished audience, as you may know, the Erongo region remains without an office park. But there was a government office park land during my time allocated. We need to work on it. However, you are making efforts, so therefore, during this period under review, efforts were made to enhance office space. An additional wing was completed at a cost of $5 million Namibian to ensure uninterrupted service delivery while enabling the regional council to function smoothly. The mining sector. The Erongo region is endowed with natural resources, hosting 9 of the 26 mines in the Republic. Minerals such as tin, lithium, tantalum, lead, zinc, gold, and uranium are mined from facilities such as QKR Navachap Gold Mine, Uis Tin Mine, Rosing Uranium Mine, Swakop Uranium Husap Mine, Langer Heinrich Uranium Mine, Namib Lead and Zinc Mine, the Salt Company, Trekopje Mine, and Walvis Bay Salt and Chemicals. I am happy to report that the mining sector has continued to significantly contribute to job creation, uplifting livelihoods in the region and contributing to the corporate social responsibility. At the Usap mine, a 13% production increase was recorded, creating 6,000 jobs, while the Langer Heinrich mine, which restarted operations in 2024, invested 1.5 billion and has created 1,000 jobs. At the Rosing mine, spending increased from 3.8 billion in 2023 to 5.2 billion in 2024. These deliverables have improved local procurements to 84%, which a local workforce of 99%, with a local workforce of 99%, commendable indeed. An amount of 52 million was invested towards social corporate responsibility in the period under review. I hope these corporate social responsibilities of that type of amount is making positive impacts in the lives and the livelihoods of our communities. Allow me, Honorable Chairperson, to acknowledge the milestones on corporate social responsibility support provided by the mining industry in our region. The uranium industry is a major driver of socio-economic development in Namibia, creating jobs, supporting local supply chains, and investing heavily in communities across the Erongo region and beyond. While on this point, I would like to highlight that it has become urgent that we have a coordinated approach to the management of all corporate social responsibilities in this region. We need to manage and coordinate so that we do not either duplicate or receive 10 kilogram top score here, little bit of cooking oil. We need to cooperate because my aim is to benefit through these corporate responsibilities the citizens that so are in need and can impact the livelihoods of our citizens. I need to see impactful type of donations to our communities. Therefore, we need to consult with the regional leadership, all our stakeholders, for your generosity. Let us sit down and agree on what needs to go to which community, and then we know at the end of the day that the much needed community have indeed benefited from this generosity. Honorable Chairperson, fellow Namibians, I am not saying that handouts are not needed. We need to still assist some of our communities with the 10-kilogram top score and so on. But my stance is we need not to create dependency syndrome amongst our community members, because we are able and capable to sustain ourselves when we are given the helping hand, when we are taught how to catch the fish ourselves. But we can still continue providing them with cans or tins of fish. But on a long run, let us teach them how to catch the fish themselves for the sustainable development. Honorable Chairperson of Erongo Regional Council, I hope you are taking notes, because I am a teacher. I need to get full attention, because I don't want to be asked and television showing my councillors did not follow my speech. I will move on to highlight the contributions of the mining industry as follows. In 2024, the industry employed 7,800 people, with every mining job generating an additional 7 jobs in supplier industries. 7,000 Namibians were employed. The sector spent about 17.8 billion on procurement, with 70%, which is 12 billion, which was spent locally, highlighting strong local economic integration. Utilities like electricity and water added nearly 1.6 billion in local expenditure, while exploration investment reached 694 million, ensuring the industry's future. Despite some mining companies not fully operational, the sector contributed already about 80 million to corporate social responsibility projects during the period under review. To sum up the corporate social responsibility, I would like to acknowledge the significant contributions from the following entities. Rosing Uranium invested over 61 million in the community projects including hospitals, renovations of the hospital, school upgrades, police station construction, water donations, and leadership summits. They further allocated 31.2 million to skills development and awarded bursaries to cultivate future talents. Thank you indeed for that impactful donations. Swakop Uranium improved local education again. Education, we are investing on top of what the government is investing. Again, Uranium Swakop improved local education, water access, and welfare through school facility upgrades, drought relief, feeding schemes, and environmental awareness. They supported nearly 183 internships and job attachments, bursaries, and international training programs. Once again, thank you so much for these generous, impactful contributions. Langer Heinrich Uranium spent 3.2 million on community initiatives such as ambulance donation, anti-poaching support, water access, and the first ever cricket hub in Montesa. Montesa, we are not only doing soccer and netball, there is a cricket hub in Montesa. Thank you very much for this donation. They focus heavily on employee skills development with multiple technical and safety training programs. On the other hand, Orano Mining Namibia supported education again and community welfare, including school improvements, environmental awareness, and festive season safety campaigns. They also offered bursaries, apprenticeships, and formal training programs to the youth. Thank you once again for that impactful donations. Bannerman Resources supported environmental and tourism organizations, school uniform donations, youth education programs, and science teaching initiatives, including providing employees and community education with scholarships and engagement activities. Reptile Mineral Resources, thank you very much, Bannerman Group, for that generous and impactful donations. Reptile Mineral Resources invested in education again, sports, and environmental sustainability, benefiting communities and local institutions. They also provided extensive workforce training across safety, governance, technical skills, and software. Wonderful, impactful again. Thank you very much for that mining group. Elevate Uranium provided aid to the vulture conservation and biodiversity efforts, and also invested in the workforce development and advanced technological training to improve efficiency. Wonderful corporate social responsibilities benefiting our communities. Thank you to all the mining industry players for that wonderful cooperation and donations and alleviating our poverty and all those answering to the call of the government. Honorable Chairperson, honorable councillors, fellow Namibians, residents of Erongo region, and now move on to relay to you the current state of region. State of the region. We are doing well. COVID-19 came, disappeared. We don't know what happened to it. So we are still strong on our feet. We are moving on as a region. As an economic hub with diverse industries in mining, as I said earlier, on fishing and tourism, the region is also faced with unprecedented challenges such as limited infrastructure, particularly road and water infrastructures, and challenges in the mining sector here and there, obtaining the licenses and so on. I will address this in a subsequent section by sector. Mining, the Erongo region continues to be a major center of mining, hosting all of Namibia's uranium mines, including those producing gold, marble, granite, sea salt, and gemstones. Mining activities have the potential to provide the much-needed employment opportunities for the youth. For example, Osino Resources Twin Hills Gold Project in Karibib is expected to create approximately 1,000 new jobs. That's why I was saying, Honorable Chairperson, if we are saying we have got 32% of unemployment in our region, I want to know region by region, constituency by constituency, traditional community by tradition, where are these unemployed young people? I can only address the 32% if I know exactly where these young people are, what their skills are that they possess, where the gaps are. Then we can address, and I can assure you with the team, the beautiful leaders, eager leaders, I can address the 32% of unemployment in this region in the shortest possible time, because you can see how ready the industry players are to assist the region. So I just need for you to break down. Don't tell me 32%. I will not know how to handle 32%. But I will know when you tell me in which constituency, these are the numbers of unemployed youth. In Taunres constituency, Karibib constituency, then I know what to do to address this unemployment. Equally, special initiatives may potentially be funded through the corporate social responsibility portfolios, thus boosting the small and medium enterprise sector. It is important to emphasize that the mining sector remains the primary driver of many economic opportunities, with exports expected to reach 41 billion in 2025, marking a 21.9% year-over-year growth. In terms of oil and gas, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members of Erongo Regional Council, the Erongo region has experienced a surge in oil and gas exploration and development with a focus on liquefied, big words, petroleum gas, LPG. Huh? Have you traditional leaders, my chiefs? We are talking about big words here. Liquefied petroleum gas. And I want us to go and see and feel these names. A new LPG import and storage facility has been constructed in Walvis Bay, aimed at addressing national shortages and to facilitate regional trade. The continental shelf of this West Coast holds potential for oil and gas exploration, which could be a game changer in employment creation, mainly for the youth. It is therefore paramount that efforts are advanced to accelerate training in non-traditional high-income fields such as these ones. Green hydrogen, the downres green hydrogen project near within our Erongo region is one of the success stories in the production of fertilizers and green ammonia. Built at the cost of 2,052 million, the project has created already over 300 jobs, and those who are employed stay, work, come back after you get your pay, so that these industries can flourish and add more to be employed. With the majority of the employees hailing from the surrounding villages in the constituency. So 300 are immediate residents in the surrounding constituencies of Daunres, Omaruru, Karibeb, and so on. It has since donated more than 15,000 seedlings to the various communities in Daunres constituency. Other notable initiatives in the green hydrogen space include Clean Energy Solutions Namibia, which employs nearly 50 people in Oshivela, Heilron. That one I must still go and see. That's why, sorry, I cannot even pronounce. So there are 50 people employed at Oshivelo, Heilron. Where is it situated? Where is it? Of course, also employing which constituency? Arantes constituency. So I'm still to go and see why only 50 people. Is it a matching business? Are they still recruiting? Or don't we have the skills and so on? So that one I will know with myself. Fishing. Our region's geographical position is strategic. Through the Cold Benguela Current, with its upwelling system along the Namibian coast, which provides the resources for this thriving fishing sector. The industry is a major player and an employer that contributes substantially to the region's economy through the employment of 13,000 Namibians, as well as generating revenue for the state through taxes. Conversely, I want to appreciate the efforts of the fishing industry through the government employment redress program, which has resulted in the employment of 2,448 fishermen and women. Why don't you clap hands for the government, your caring government, for having reintegrated these fishermen into its industries? Tourism. The region is a popular tourist destination as it is known for the breathtaking landscapes, rich cultural heritage, and vibrant marine life. Other attractions include Swakopmund Town, the Dune Belt, the moon landscape, as well as a unique Erongo mountain. I didn't hear that song, Brandberg, our largest mountain or the longest mountain. You did not sing that song for your new governor, including the Brandberg Mountain, which is the candidate for World Heritage status. Candidate for the World Heritage status, our Brandberg Mountain, compounded with the oldest Namib Desert, makes Erongo the destination of choice for our tourists. During the period under review, the tourism sector experienced, of course, a few challenges, but I can safely say that the room occupancy rates have now increased to 60% for the tourist arrivals, locally, regionally, and internationally. The Namibian Tourism Sector Recovery Plan 2022-2024, which has been at the center of the tourism boom, is being successfully implemented in the region. Erongo's tourism industry registered 381 new tourism businesses involving mainly tour operators and self-catering accommodations. Imperatively, this path underscores the region's growing demand for visitors. Another milestone in the success story of the tourism industry is the rise in the cruise ship tourism to the town of Walvis Bay. In this reporting period, 29 cruise liners docked at the port with 36,000 tourists in the region. Imagine what a local groups, the cultural groups and so on can benefit from such visitors on our port. But I want to pause here and say, as far as the tourism in this region is concerned, I want to see during my next report an inclusive picture of all residents, all Namibians, especially those from the formerly disadvantaged backgrounds. Tourism in this region must benefit all of us. That I will report during the next State of the Region's address. Agriculture serves as a main livelihood for at least 4% of the population in the region. A total number of 77 farmers, 32 female and 45 males receive seeds, pesticides, fertilizers and irrigation equipment to boost food security. Through the Namibia Agriculture Mechanization and Seeds Improvement Project, NAMSIP, farmers benefited from the training on wheat production. A total of 5 and 7 hectares of land is currently under cultivation in Okombahe, Ochimbingwe. Thank you very much, chiefs, that you are availing land for the productive use thereof. You are the custodians of the land. Avail more land for us to use our land effectively. Thank you, Okombahe chiefs, Ochimbingwe chiefs, and those who are getting the land, use it for food security and self-reliance and for the sustainable development. Land can be used for any other economic activity in our communal areas. Young people can be given land to do crop farming. When you do that, I will invite the relevant ministries to come and train, provide these young people with training and tools. Poultry farming, any other economic activity can happen in our 7 constituencies, not only in Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, because these 2 are but 2 out of the 7 constituencies. My office will spearhead the realization of the desalination plant. We are talking about water scarcity, desalination plant, and will initiate discussions with the state-owned enterprise responsible for water supply. Because I cannot come next year and say, water scarcity, what have I done to address the water scarcity? We have got this big water, so we can look at how to benefit from this ocean of our social safety net. The government remains committed to improving livelihoods for the vulnerable communities through various social grants. There has been a slight increase in the number of beneficiaries as compared to the previous reporting period. Old age grant has increased from 15,000 to about 17,000. Disability grants from 3,000 to about 4,500. Funeral benefits from 416 to about 1,000. Yes, 914,000. Children grant beneficiaries from 12,277 to 13,047. A total funds committed by the government on the above grants amounts to 363 million Namibian dollar. As far as the social grants are concerned, it will be business unusual. Social grants shall be used for its intended purpose. Government is giving it to those beneficiaries. I shall put committees in all the 7 constituencies that are going to observe and monitor how these social grants are utilized. First time, I will look over. Second time reported, these funds are abused. I am going to recommend to the ministry to withdraw, because these funds are not meant for alcohol, drug, and for any other purposes, but it's meant to improve your livelihoods. Africa Continental Free Trade Area, during the reporting period, the Erongo region experienced the first shipment of the salt consignment. Thank you, Honorable Neville Andre, my former governor. First in our history, we have already exported 45,000 metric tons to Nigeria. Africa Continental Free Trade has already been implemented in our region. Thank you very much, and let us see more and more of these exports in the various sectors of our mineral industries. Yes, this program is aimed to reduce tariffs and streamline trade policies, fostering greater competitiveness for Namibian businesses and the diversification of the economy. Now I will move to the education sector, of which I am one of them. I'm a teacher. I'm nothing else. I know nothing else than being a teacher. And I'm a teacher of note. When I teach, children must learn. When learners speak to me, I must listen and address their knowledge gaps. Known as a region of excellence, because of its success in producing better results across all the grades over the years, it is now with glamour of doubt that the glorious years have slipped us, and therefore promoting a need to restart our revival plan. Until this is realized, Honorable Chairperson of Erongo Regional Council, because education is decentralized to your regional council. Until such time when we will correct the mistakes of the past and reclaim our position in the national ranking and in terms of better, improved learning outcomes, I will, with the permission of my residents, suspend the word excellence until we reclaim, until we see the results are improving, until I hear a child in Omachete, a child in Ochimpingwe, a child elsewhere in all the constituencies are telling me they are also the beneficiaries of the excellent results. A mother in all the constituencies telling me they have started to benefit from the economic situation, economic qualities that we are producing in Omaruru is felt. The day Erongo is proclaiming all of us are the beneficiaries of Erongo Economic Hub, then, because I only suspend it, then we can get our title of the Region of Excellence. Do I have that permission? Yes. Thank you very much. So therefore, we will continue to support the Education Directorate in this reporting period, the Directorate recruited already 8 senior education officers. 8, on top of what was already there. So to be a senior education officer means you go out and you support the teachers in the classrooms. 203 teachers were recruited, bringing the total of the field teaching positions to 1,689, with 58,000 enrolled learners in the region. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the education sector is quite challenging and requires a multifaceted approach. It's about the parents, it's about the learner herself or himself, and it's about us. So all 3 of us are the role players. Because normally when I was a director, I was using the blackboard, the 3-legged board. When one leg is broken or is half not straight, then that board will stand like this. So it's all of us to play our role to improve the education situation in our region. So the teachers are appointed, education officers are appointed, the director is already there, deputy directors are there, the schools are built, there are so many schools. The only challenge I can see here, and that is where the planners must come in, is at the beginning of every year, we are challenged with the space in grade 1 and grade 8. So I hope this year we have already planned. Of course, it's so difficult to plan. That's why I'm saying, let the people not think Swakopmund and Walvis Bay is the place and the solver of the problems. Let us improve our schools. Let us improve the learning situation, teaching situation, leadership of the principals in all our schools, so that the parents can have confidence and keep their children in those constituencies. But please, I'm calling upon the director and the management and the honorable chairperson for us to plan already in advance to address the overcrowdedness and the non-spaces in grade 1 and 8. Additional classes were built. I will not bore you with that. My statement will be availed. Almost every school got additional classrooms, ablution blocks. So in order to address overcrowdedness, platoon systems and so on. So with the assistance, the government grants, we are really doing well. New primary schools were built in Walvis Bay. I will not bore you. So you will see in my report. So there are a lot of developmental activities happening in our schools. So there cannot be an excuse for us not to provide quality learning outcomes in our different schools. Dubuses, we are also doing in our rural schools upgrades. We are also bringing good teachers. We are bringing renovations. We are bringing ablution blocks. So all our schools, as per the director's priority plan list, are receiving the attention. I repeat, there cannot be any excuse for a school principal not to provide instructional leadership, and for the teachers not to teach, and the learners not to learn, and for the parents to be part of this education system. Because as a government and with the stakeholder support, we are supporting our education system. Ladies and gentlemen, as the caring Swabo government, we have really invested in capacity development programs. We are also putting up at Karipep, how do you call that, CLDC, community learning. Make use of these centers, community learning centers. I'm also sick and tired to be told, you people are talking Namlish, but you are also not upgrading. At least we are trying to speak Namlish. But when the centers are open, we are not even benefiting, at least to start with our Namlish. So there is a community development learning center in Karipep. Community center, Chief Saipep, honorable traditional leaders, we are now getting, and that center will be equipped with books. It will provide all sorts of community services. Please make use. Let that center not become a white elephant make full use of it. It is constructed or renovated at the cost of 2 million. It is also important to state that universal grant, the 22 million where government is giving to the region is already committed. It came to the region. So please, Director, make sure that each and every school gets its a portion of that 22 million. But please, parents, where we can, also put something in your pockets and assist our school development. Technical and vocational education and training remain a critical enabler for employment creation, social transformation, and skills development. As such, the government has subsidized 1,087 youth who are currently receiving training in the fields of plumbing, welding, boiler making, motor mechanics, and construction at NIMT. Other players in technical and vocational education training, TVET, include Community Skills Development Center. Please, COSTECH, let us send our young people, even my age. I am a learner myself. I will not tell you my age, because some of you will sink in that chair of yours. I am a second-year student, learning, trying to be relevant, trying to talk freely at my senior age. I'm doing my final year of my PhD. Yeah, I'm in the final year. I'm doing my research. Yeah, so I'm learning, therefore, and the next station where I will be landing is a TVET center. Because with my so-called PhD, I cannot even today, the room I was sleeping in had a leak. The tap is leaking. I cannot even use something to just bring that rubber, replace that rubber. So skills development is very important. Send your children to the TVET facilities. Omaruru, there stands a yellow building. That is my first target, Madam Director. That yellow building, which was meant and built at a cost of $1 million, is idling now for the past maybe 11 to 12 years. Come on. And we are crying, youth do not have the skills. We know the skills gaps. Without any approval, as long as I got the chairperson of the regional council and the council behind me, I am going to restart and make that yellow building a center of TVET for Erongo region. All I need is the leaders in different portfolios help me to identify the youth, make me known which fields, skills gaps exist, but from my side, my first thinking would be to talk to NTA, to look at the mines, downrace, green hydrogen, and they must tell us what type of skills they would need. My young people should be trained in. And then we are going to bring the trainers to that yellow building that is about to dilapidate in Omaruru. Honorable Mayor, I see you. We are going to start cleaning that building, make it live. I'm coming. I'm coming with the Directorate of Education. I'm coming with the chairperson of the Regional Council and the Honorable Councillors of Erongo Region. Yeah? So this will help us to alleviate poverty, develop skills, and so on. Yeah, I am now going to focus on infrastructure development in the region, which is the lifeblood of socio-economic development. Therefore, the government has committed to creating infrastructure that facilitates trade and connectivity to attract investment and enhance competitiveness. Entities such as NAMPORT have been instrumental in connecting regions and external markets while easing the import and export of goods. That said, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to reflect on these critical investments in infrastructure development in our region during the period under review. Road upgrading projects. The upgrading of Main Road 36 and 44, as well as the Trunk Road, is currently underway. for 140 million Namibian dollar. The 96-kilometer Handisby Uis Road upgrade to bitumen standard stands at 70.8% completion at the cost of 215 million Namibian dollar. The 32-kilometer Karipep-Usakos Road upgrading project, which cost 39 million, is 48% complete. Okay, Omage, Chiefs, Karipep-Usakos, we are getting the upgrade of our roads. Yes, and then, of course, I will also excite you soon about what we are going to do during the current state. Electrical infrastructure. During the period under review, Erongo Red invested a total of 227 million in bulk infrastructure upgrades. Thanks to Erongo Red's projects are underway to electrify, thank you very much, informal settlements in Handys Bay, 263 Erven, totaling 15 million. Usakos, 300, and Maya ICU, 392 Erven Usakos, which will be the total investment that will add to your asset register 15 million. So yes, UIS, thank you. I see the chief from UIS. I see the settlement officers. You are also a recipient of this electrification project. Karipep, the same, 1,200 Erven at the cost of 46. And these are investments, infrastructures, adding to your asset register. Yeah, Swakopmund, the same, 295. So a lot, in Walvisby, all of them are benefiting from Erongo Red electrification program. In total, Erongo Red is allocated, as I said, towards the 24 million, towards the cost of electricity services, henceforth providing subsidies also to pensioners and low income. Yes, I'm the beneficiary. I don't pay the same rate that you young people are paying, because Erongo Red has got a special tariff for us, the senior citizens. Thank you, Erongo Red, for acknowledging the senior citizens. There are lots more social corporate responsibilities Erongo Red is doing. Sports infrastructure. The development of essential sports infrastructures across Namibia in all constituencies have been prioritized by the government. I am therefore delighted to announce that Usakos and UIS have been selected for the upgrading of the sports facilities. Usakos and UIS is prioritized. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to reflect on the infrastructure development initiatives undertaken by local authorities across the Erongo region. These projects are a clear demonstration of the government's commitment to improving the quality of life of our residents. Walvisby municipality undertaking several critical infrastructure. I don't want statements. They have constructed 200 low-cost houses. I have been party to it recently. Your caring government has availed 75 million for the construction of 200 low-cost houses at Farm 37, and this 75 million will also be used for the bulk services, infrastructure development. So please don't calculate, don't divide 200 divided by 75 million will give you a lot of money. No, the houses will not cost that much. A portion of the funds, 75 million, shall be used for the infrastructure development, bulk servicing. Other part of the housing will also get the similar services with the 75 million. So we are telling the residents of Walvisby Erongo region that these 200 houses shall be handed over to the 200 beneficiary not later than September end 2025. Swakopmund municipality, and of course, a lot of other activities are happening in Swakopmund municipality. Thank you, the leadership of Swakopmund Walvisby municipality. Swakopmund, same, allocated 150 even, and it was committed to support Build Together beneficiaries at various, and I'm still getting complaints. Swakopmund, of course, the demand, the more we give, the more they want. It's not to say we are not doing anything. The late president was saying, because they have got no confidence and trust, they see us doing. So everybody is crying on us. So yes, all the municipalities, 7 municipalities are busy constructing housing. I am sure our target of delivering, is it 10,000 houses in this financial year? Yeah, we will get them. The way I see, the plans I see, the already service land, already ready plots, I'm pretty sure, Honorable Chairperson, that we are going to meet our target by Excellency the President, business unusual. So a lot of activities are happening in the different municipalities. You can please have access to my statement. I am not going to bore you with everything. All I can say is your local authorities. And now with my coming, we are going to work at a speed. If there were 120 per kilometer traffic head, pardon us, we are moving at 160 per kilometer because we have got a duty to perform. Political situation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that our democracy has matured over the last 35 years of our independence, with a political system that is relatively characterized by a competitive environment, where multiple political parties vie for influence. Good governance is, Nathalia, good governance is about quality service delivery. Good governance is about financial prudence. Good governance is about transparency, and that is Meme Nathalia. I am talking sometimes stories, but I'm an implementer, and I'm known as a good governor. Good governance. I was heading once an institution called Erongo Regional Council. I exited that institution with pride and confidence because I've led 5 years of my tenure with my team, of course, unqualified financial audit reports. So if I could have done that, each and every CEO and the CRO and the state-owned enterprises heads can do that. And you are not going to disappoint me. This year, maybe, 2025, 2026, financial report, maybe, I will understand. But going forward, 2026, 2027, good governance in terms of quality, service delivery, and financial prudence. That's where I can influence your boards and councils, CEOs. I'm not threatening to send you to me, I train you, or to ask them for you to exit. Because we must account for the trust funds. The money coming through donations are the taxpayers' monies, so we need to use it for the purpose it is intended for. Political leadership, I was talking about good governance, zeal to lead, but I should caution that there is still more to be done to ensure effective and ethical leadership, free from corruption and politicians, free from interferences in administrative systems. Very important. Although there may be differences in ideologies, the region remains free from political violence. Thank you, Honorable Governor, my son, Oma Second, Honorable Andre. That's how he called me, Level, free from political violence. I would like to urge residents to maintain this united spirit as we near the November elections. Please, those who have turned 18 years, supplementary voters registrations are ongoing. We are going to elect our leaders to review their mandates, and we, the electorates, can do that. Safety and security, I was told by the regional commander that he is currently in the regions with the Inspector General. He told me I must say it. He went to Omachete. He has seen a lot of safety features there, unlike in the past. Community are assisting the police to report on cases. He came to Okombahe. he found 20 young volunteers who are doing the community policing. He said, Meme, please tell the Erongo region community, those are the people that we need to upskill, that we need to identify, because they are volunteering to assist in the safety and security of our region. So I'm sure the Ogombahe chief is here. Is Ogan chief, is he present? Or the representative? We want to thank you for having encouraged your young people to assist. Is Ogan traditional authority represented? Okay, anyway. Because we are in your region, you call yourself, and I will now call Erongo region, not Oikan anymore, because you are not even attending this very important, apparently in your Oikan region. Yeah? This is a foundation of, because I did not receive any, huh? Okay. So, yeah. So, while the safety has become potential risk in the region, I don't know what risk is there. I know of some issues that were reported during the last year of reporting of increasing rates of substance abuse among our young people, also the incidents of violence in this gender-based violence. Usago's case is also one such case. So police is saying they are going to strengthen the safety of all our residents of Erongo. The police commander told me that he is currently busy with a program to work with you in Usagos to create awareness to the communities, and not only in Usagos, to all the constituencies, for us to be free from any violence, because we want a safe and a secured Erongo region. Police stations are established on Machete, Swakopmund, 2 police stations. There is one in Ogombahe, so we are strengthening our safety and security in our region. Yeah, so I spoke about the heavy drug and alcohol abuse. We are calling on the residents to be vigilant, to report on all these ills that are destroying our community, our youth. Report. We will be regretting one day when we allow this happening amongst our young people. I told you I want to send youth to the TVET centers. I told you I want to send our youth to the mines to go and work there. I told you I want to create jobs for our young people. But if our young people are not ready mentally, they may not enter this and enjoy these benefits. Yeah, I will go to the other sector because I spoke enough about the safety and security. The roads, we are inviting Namibia to come to Erongo region. We are inviting our international guests. We are inviting our tourists. But please, all I am asking you is please be a good road user. Our roads are not bad at all. I took a picture of my driver, and I will not mention the name as registration number. Of course, we have to exercise patience, because you will see 6-4 trucks, heading to the same direction as you are. Patience. This car loading full load of 7 or 6 souls. I have the picture and the number. I will deal with my beloved driver there, because the angels rescued not him but the other passengers there. Overtake, and there is a car coming from Windhoek direction. I was saying, oh my God, maybe it's my prayer that has saved him, because it was just a matter of meeting with that bakkie. The trucks had to move out. I had to move out. I was driving myself in my private car. So please, road users, love yourselves, use the roads, and be considerate to the other drivers. Health and social sector, also a lot has been done. There is a very good one that I want to say. Dialysis services was established at the Walvis Bay District Hospital, consisting of 6 beds, value at 1.6 million. I'm also delighted to report that the construction of the mortuary at Ochimbingwe settlement. Ochimbingwe is dominating, ne? Chief, wat het jy gemaak daarso? Julle het ook mortuary, maar ons gaan nie dood nie. Ons gaan nie dood nie. It was completed and is now operational. We appreciate Namibia Navajab Gold Mine for this milestone delivered through their corporate social responsibility. Additionally, a neonatal intensive care unit in Swakopmund was constructed at the value of 26 million. The facility consists of 28 beds. The completion rate stands at 95% and is expected to be completed by September 2025. Yeah, the upgrading of Swakopmund Hospital boundary walls, renovations are happening, and all these local renovations must see my local unemployed youth from NIMT, from COSTEC, from those who have got the skills. At least, come on, you cannot tell me to make the wall a little bit higher. You cannot tell me my youth, my young men and women cannot do that. So, director of these hospitals, make sure that you employ with this renovation the young people of this region. So wheelchairs were also donated to the various constituencies. I acknowledge that there are activities planned by the Health Directorate, so there are lots happening also in the health sector of our region to ease the referrals from Erongo to Windhoek. So we are bringing all those key services to our region. Thanks to the Director of Health. Where are you, Director, Doctor? Are you also absent? You are also absent, ne? Aha! Thank you, Doctor. We salute you. Thank you so much. External relations. In our quest to attract investments to the region, regional governors' offices embarked on pursuing a twinning agreement with the Western Cape Province in the Republic of South Africa. The twin agreement will be signed between or within the current financial year. The purpose of this agreement is to establish cooperative relations between the Erongo region and the Western Cape in areas of mutual understanding or interest. The agreement, amongst others, will help to promote partnerships in agriculture, blue economy, culture and tourism, promote investments and trade, advance regional integration, explore avenues for higher education and training, and sports development. I'm sure my president is happy when I am calling all the 6 pillars here: logistics, infrastructure and risk management, or risk disaster management. Thank you, my son, Oma II. This agreement is crucial. It will ease the burden from the central government. As I conclude this section, I would like to highlight eminent infrastructural challenges that I don't want to mention challenges at this point in time, but we have got few challenges, namely the rural-urban migration is prevalent trend involving mainly young people. We are going to see how to strengthen our rural areas. We are going to prioritize, to incentivize rural areas to provide the necessary amenities. We are busy already with UIS. We are busy with Omachete. We have heard that Ochimbingwe is also on the list of getting the much needed amenities so that we can ease that rural-urban migration. The water issue, I have decided I am not going to report next year that water is a challenge. This is a big water there. Desalination plants, I am going to engage the hydrologists, experts. I'm going to engage all the players, NAM Water. I'm going to engage the ministry responsible for water. I am going to engage all the stakeholders to help me to solve the water problem in Erongo region. So I'm not going to bore you with those challenges. Road infrastructure, I told you, condition is not that poor. We are now working on addressing those road infrastructure development. Yes, use the roads and the existing infrastructure jealously and to the best, thinking of tomorrow, the next generation. Dilapidated buildings, I will clear them. I will not see, because it's not a matter of buildings that are dilapidating, buildings that are vandalizing itself. I'm going to put committees that would guard against government properties, and anything that is standing idling, I will move in, put my youth there, do something, they can do businesses. So, Minister of Works, if you have got buildings idling, the governor is moving in. Governor is going to use them for their young people, for their homeless people, to do the economic activities in those buildings. So, whether vandalized or whatever, we are moving into those buildings. Future policies and priorities. Honorable Chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council, honorable members, fellow Namibians, residents of Erongo region, as you may have noted in my earlier introduction, the unifying theme of our State of the Region address, and I quote again, and this one must sink in, all of us: unity in diversity, natural resources beneficiation, and youth empowerment for sustainable development, end of quote. There will certainly be no room for complacency. No room for complacency. The head of state has declared, and I quote, "We are too few to be poor." And I am saying, Erongo region is too rich to be poor. Our role going forward is to turn these so-called challenges, misfortunes, into opportunities, working in collaboration with the regional council, local authorities, traditional authorities, state-owned enterprises, and other very important key stakeholders. We will address the youth unemployment, which is apparently 32%, but I told you how I want to see that 32% to be addressed. So we will do few things. Mines will employ them. I will send them to the DVET centers. So we will do things collectively. Now complacency. Water security, I told you already, tomorrow, next week, I will sit with all those experts, hydrologists, engineers. They will come and tell me how I can solve this problem for my region's residents. Thank you, Regional Council, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members. You have already invested a total of 50 million for water infrastructure development and upgrading projects. Thank you so much for that leadership. We are going to complement what you are doing. These funds will support the completion of the remaining 8 kilometers second phase of Odontati. I know Omachete, that's also a very, very big water strained area. But thank you very much that you are attending to this water crisis. Tata Muchi bulk, and then 18 boreholes in the rural based on Rescaripep shall be drilled. Thank you so much for that leadership. Goagoses Town Council will provide also water to the Ongulumbashe. Ongulumbashe, are you here? Hear me? Goagoses Town Council is telling the governor that they are going to give 100% access to water to that informal settlement. Thank you, Your Worship, the Mayor. Please just do that. Let me go and open the tapes in next week. Mining, we spoke about it. You can get my statement. We are going to engage, very important. In Omachede Dongres constituency, there is a wonderful site first, tourist attraction, alongside the river there. During my time as a CRO with the Ministry of Tourism, we have identified and put up infrastructure, which we called Ohungu Community Lodge, Wakwedu. Chifa, Murinawa, Uripi. Where is the chief? Also not here. Then I will do that Ohungu Lodge with my team here. I thought chief was here to gauge his approval. That lodge was meant to create jobs, to attract tourists, and to provide any service any tourism is providing. So I'm going to, and I'm saying it here, work with the CRO, Chief Regional Officer, the relevant ministries, the community, and that Ohungu Lodge will see its light during this financial year. Okay? I also want to announce that coming week we will be receiving 600 goats from Swakop, Burboke, 800 of them from Swakop uranium for distribution to the identified communities in the region. We sincerely appreciate this noble gesture from the private sector, as this uplifts the livelihoods of our people at the grassroots level. We implore others to kindly follow, because the destitute communities are many in our region. And with these donations, rest assured the donors, our partners, that it shall go to the right beneficiaries. We are not going to politicize, because I know it's a year of elections. So it will go to the residents, the destitute Namibians that are qualifying to benefit from these goats. I shall spearhead the distribution with the relevant leadership of our region. Yeah? So this proud announce UIS will be, yes, that's also good news. UIS chiefs, are you here? We are upgrading UIS. Is a UIS chiefs here? Oh, Chief Aguera, Hadwa, Chief. Hado, thank you. Thank you. Your UIS is going to be upgraded now to the next level. I said I refuse from settlement village, that status I don't want for UIS. We are going to put in whatever is needed for us to be upgraded to the local authority level. So UIS is also coming on board. I will report next year that UIS is indeed a local authority council. Yeah? So things are happening. The rest is too long. You can read. Other mines are there, 270. So we are really doing very well. Thanks to my predecessor. Thanks to the leadership of our region. Tourism, things will happen. I said, formalities, advantage, members of our community shall play a key role in the provision of the tourism services. Namport, I spoke about it. The harbour, I spoke about it. I spoke about the policies to enhance regional planning, development, is supported state aid development and market-driven economy to diversify economic. Those things are happening. I don't want to talk too much, because now I've already spoken 1 hour. I need to go out and deliver. In the light of these developments, I urge all local authorities to accelerate the completion of the town structure plans, because I want to move in and see what is Omaruru doing. Is there a town plan so that I can hold you accountable and me held accountable for the residents on your behalf, and me to be able to report to the President of our Republic. So I need to have this completion of the town plans in the shortest possible time so that you can work on it. But try to align your town plans with NDB 6 and of course with the SORA Party Manifesto implementation plan, because NDB 6 is aligned, because it's a national document, is aligned to the Party Manifesto implementation plan. So these plans must be available and should be executed without fail. My vision to become region first, okay, we are almost now reclaiming our region of excellence. We must be the first to have these plans in place. Mr. CRO, so we can go. Mama wants to go and work. Region, we're planning, implementation, develop. We need to harmonize all these things so that at the end of the day, at the regional coordinating development committee meetings, we can come and speak. One region, one vision. One region, one vision. Honorable Chairperson, distinguished councillors, I'm sure by now you are aware that during the coming days, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, President of the Republic of Namibia, will launch the National Development Plan 6. On this note, I urge all government entities in the region to critically review and align your 5-year strategic plans with the objectives and targets of NDP 6. Call to action. I am closing. As I am nearing my SORA, I would like to emphasize unity. Those who said, "I hierdie ene het sy weer gekom," you are going to be the chairperson of my unity committee. I know you. I've already picked you. I've got a unity committee. I need you. That's good. I am not in a beauty contest to be laughed. Dankie dat u gesê het, hierdie ene, sy kom weer. Jy is die chairperson van my unity committee and collaboration. As these are essential conduits for achieving a common goal as a nation, we need to do away with all evils of regionalism, tribalism, racism, and corruption, and discrimination on the basis of socio-economic backgrounds. I will pray, all of us must pray, to do away with those systems. We don't want it. We don't want that. Ill devil is a liar. In Erongo, we don't want racism, regionalism, tribalism, corruption. I don't want any one of us in Erongo region to go and rot in jail. I don't want us. We are lovely people. We are hardworking people. God has given us all the minerals. We don't need to make ourselves guilty of any wrongdoings. I want to unify now. Let us move in a unified spirit. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members of Erongo region, fellow Namibians, let us collectively, in a unified spirit, as one region, one vision, project a clear and cleaner state of shared purpose and commitment towards reclaiming our position as a region of excellence. It is important that we work together towards a common goal, building a stronger sense of cohesion and shared identity as a children. We are a land of brave, as a children of land of brave. I call on our regional partners, industries, and citizens to support inclusive, sustainable growth in our region. Despite challenges, the region is positioned to succeed. There is hope, and I'm optimistic that we'll be able to alleviate poverty, reduce unemployment, and send more children to school and the adult youth to universities and TVET centers. As I conclude, in conclusion, the delivery of this SORA permit me, when you have listened carefully, to quote our first black president in the United States, President Barack Obama, and I quote, "The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward that precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness." End of quote. I thank you for your kind attention. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Councillors of Erongo Region, and the fellow residents. Thank you so much.
Can we all be seated?
Well, there you have it. That was the governor of the Erongo region coming to you live from the municipality here in Swakopmund, the State of the Region address. Nathalia is giving us a passionate State of the Region address. I'm joined by Paul Tangeni Njambula, who is the president of the Swakopmund Business Chamber. Thanks for joining us here again for the post-mortem of the SORA.
Thank you very much again for inviting me.
It seemed like the governor was very happy to be back home, if there's if there's another word to use. What are your sentiments? What are your initial impressions from the governor's speech?
So we are lucky to have our previous governor. He's a son from Wavish Bay, and the new governor, Omar Second. She's also from the region, being a CRO before, and she knows the region very well. So you could see the energy in the room, that people are happy to welcome her back through this gathering, through the State of Region address.
There's obviously a few things that stuck out to me, but I think the biggest thing was how sometimes we can have a misconception about how well this region is doing if we only focus on the Swakopmund constituency and the Walfish Bay. And she kept on making the emphasis of the 7 constituencies and how the other constituencies might be to a large degree underdeveloped. Let's speak about the equity that people, the residents of this region experience, Swakopmund, Walfish Bay versus the other part of the country.
Yeah, so we forget that Erongo region, as big as it is, it only has 7 constituencies. So those two you mentioned of Wavish Bay and Swakopmund, that's where most of the economic activity is happening, to a small extent Handys Bay. But you have Dorus, which is the largest in terms of land space, and it's largely rural area. So you have those gaps of where things are flourishing and where there's missed opportunity. And especially with climate change, that there's a lot of people are having less reverence from the land. So there's that need of also boosting them to be able to help themselves, whether they're still on the ground or they migrate to the city.
But it seems like the problem is almost solving itself in the fact that, developments of Uis being upgraded into a town from a settlement status, it seems like development is naturally moving. She spoke passionately about the VTC Center in Omaruru as well. She congratulated the happenings in Ochimbingwe. So are you saying that some of these efforts are already happening? Maybe we just need to scale the level at which they are happening?
Yes, I definitely think so. There's a much brighter light for Erongo region, I think, compared to many other regions. And that issue is about the speed we do things. And that's why I say, we need that coordination approach. Sometimes the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing, even in government itself. So government knowing also shortcomings as a CRO before, I think, can be able to glue that together to improve the speed. And secondly, also that the skills development, the VTCs are very important because, we have a big percentage of unemployed youth in Namibia, but also a big number of it also people who graduates who are unemployed. But if you had skills, like the TVEC what she's promoting, it's important because then those people are generally having better opportunity to get jobs quicker than someone who's a PhD or master degree graduate, was they still need to look for a job. But the ones who have skills, they can create their own jobs.
That's interesting. Another, when you're speaking about the bright spark of the region, I was impressed by the level of CSR in the region, when she spoke about corporate social responsibility. Rossing Uranium with about $61 million, Swakop Uranium, Langer Heinrich giving $3.2 million. I mean, this adds up to about just under $100 million. What is the impact, would you think, does that level of corporate social responsibility have on the residents of the region?
The impact is a lot, and I like what the governor's approach was. She was saying she wanted coordinated CSR in the region program. Currently, companies or private sectors, they are doing donation at free will and courses which we saw. Some are doing it, most of them are involved in education, environmental issues, because protection of the environment is very big, and especially Erongo, which is actually covered by parks. You know, between Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, people don't know that you are leaving Swakopmund to Walvis Bay, you are driving through a national park. We need to protect the biodiversity in that area and so on. So what I agree also with the governor is to say we do a more coordination approach. Then instead of diluting the CSI, giving to 1 or 2, 3 projects which have much bigger impact to individuals. So I hope people understood that, not to say you shouldn't be doing the food handouts and so on as you're doing now. But if we could have more coordination, that we can say we have 5 projects in the region which have bigger impact. A good example is the Rossing one with the police station in DRC. That is the informal sector or informal settlement area in Swakopmund, DRC, where you have about more than 17,000 people living there with not proper services. And a police station was built there. That will curb crime also. So that is purely built. And it was done with a short under 10 months. So those are big, intangible CSR impact which they give in the community. And we need to applaud those companies who are doing that. As you said, the numbers are a lot. And you not forget that CSI doesn't just request for people from Erongo. You have villages or projects around the country who come also approaching the same companies.
Another interesting factor, as you guys are saying, you're the economic hub of the country. 41 billion is expected to be exported out of Namibia in 2025, marking a 21.9% year-over-year growth. Who are the beneficiaries of such growth?
You see, we have an issue when we look at the data, that in a way that some of this growth don't always trickle down immediately. So in that regard, to say, okay, what is being exported? Is it new projects that are creating new jobs, or already existing projects, just that because the market of the minerals they are trading, for example, uranium, they are doing it very well at the moment compared how it was 3 years ago. Because you saw the issue of the Russia-Ukraine war, there's a demand of energy in Europe and the rest of the globe, and that pushed up the uranium prices. Because literally a few years ago, uranium prices was under $50 US. Now it's about 75. That makes it more conducive for more operations. That's why mines which were under maintenance and care have reopened, such as Langer Heinrich, and very soon we're also expecting Orano to be following the same suit. And a project which is going to reopen now, that is good news for the residents and everybody's ears, both the youth for job employment in the residents, but also for small SMEs who can be contractors to provide services to that new project. But if it's volumes from already existing companies, then it's good for the economy, but that doesn't trickle down the same way for a new project being created.
That's a very interesting macroeconomic analysis there that you're providing us. But let's move on to another thing that she spoke about, the tourism industry, obviously one of the largest industries in the country. She spoke about the need, again, to ensure that people who are disadvantaged or formerly disadvantaged or are currently disadvantaged become greater beneficiaries of that market share. Talk to us about the ecosystem here of tourism, and how do we allow that shift to occur in a region like this?
Yes, being like Swakopmund being the tourism capital or the oasis of tourism in Namibia, we have a lot of tourism activities, but there's also challenges and gaps. And we also need to understand where do you play a role if you're an SME. If I'm an activity operator, I sell daily activity product. For clients, I entertain them for 3 hours or 4 hours and so on. If you're in safari operations, you are the one who goes out there and sell Namibia as a destination, and you have those people for 12 to 21 days packaging. So the higher more on the chain you are, the better the profit margins and then income you derive. So I think there's a lot of opportunity, but it requires money. Unfortunately, I always tell people that tourism is unlike a shebeen. You know, when you have a shebeen, you operate from January to December. We need to understand the tourism sector is one of the sectors which is vulnerable because at a large extent, we are only busy for 6 months of the year. So the other 6 months, you need to keep business afloat. In that regard, maybe she's also talking about the cruise ship industry. Pre-COVID, we used to receive about 10 to 15 vessels in a season. At the moment, with the current season, we just ended about 3 weeks ago, we had over 50 vessels which came through in. So they brought thousands and thousands of people.
And that's what we were having earlier conversation on, where you said, you know, I mean, even in the speech, there's about 65 ship liners that are expected to, you know, land in Wildfish Bay. So if you're sitting there, you have an opportunity. How do young people that are unemployed, that are looking for opportunities, benefit directly from that opportunity?
Well, with the cruise liner, it's a bit different market compared to the normal safaris where you have people coming for weeks or so in Namibia. So the cruise liner, basically, it's only two harbor towns, Lüderitz and Wildfish Bay. We forget a lot of times Lüderitz. Half of the boats, I would say, they also stop in Lüderitz. So what services are required in those two ports? So you need activity operators who, when the boat stops there for the day or day and a half, they can take them on excursions in your specific area or trade. Cafes, restaurants, souvenirs, cultural things, attires and so on. So those are products, the more you have in your town or your area, the more you are attracting boats, because if they stop now in Wildfish Bay, there's not much activities happening. Luckily, Swakopmund is just a stone throw away from Wildfish Bay. So that's why majority of the people who dock there, they come to Swakopmund to find those services which they cannot find in Wildfish Bay. So we as residents of Erongo, or in the south in Lüderitz, you need to find where are the gaps where you can play your role. Maybe you can do a tour activity, but you can maybe have a bistro, or you can do art and so on. So those are the gaps we need to look at it.
It's really speaking to the idea of having to be creative.
We need to be creative and also to be visible to out there. As I said earlier in the morning of the Good Morning Show, to say it, we need to find a way to be listed. You have a boat like Queen Mary or Queen Anne. They come with plus minus 2,000 to 3,000 passengers.
We're running out of time, but I think that's a great point that you're making in terms of really linking the opportunities to a lot of the young people and saying there's a myriad of things that you can do. Closing remarks, what is your final sentiment from the speech as a resident of this region?
I think the governor gave a good speech, covered all the different sectors, the success, the shortcomings, and it's quite we had a lot of energy in the room, and it sounds promising that she's having that practical approach, and she's also saying, I'm going to hold you accountable. It's the same as the residents will hold her accountable through the appointment by the president. So we're looking forward, and we hope that we'll be able to achieve 80% target by next year when we come together again.
Thank you, Mr. Paul Njombola there, giving us the insights on the post-mortem of the speech this morning from Swakopmund. The governor, Nathalia, Goagoses, spoke to us this morning, and the sentiment has been that, one, it was a very passionate address this morning, but she was the former CRO and is coming back in as the governor. I think the big sentiment that's coming through is that accountability is being risen at a subnational level. Regional councillors, the regional governance structures are being strengthened, and I think accounting and making this exercise a it's something that is mainstreamed in our society is obviously a great welcoming to us Namibian people. As we're saying, we'll be broadcasting you more of the State of the Region address. Next will be Ocho the Juba region. That will be Friday morning. For myself, Patrick Sam, and the entire NBC team, we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Thank you.